Hey everybody, Dave here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Dave's Digest. And I'm hanging out in my room right now because everybody's out in the living room, and I figured that I would come on here and talk about a lot of things. I think the last time that I really made a video was when I did the Insectarium Learn and Play, and that was shortly after Gen Con. Usually it's really busy for me. I don't get a chance to do a lot of gaming. Um, Biggest priority in my life is basically like my health and fitness. So a lot of my time during the week, I spend 4 days a week. We go to the gym, my wife and I, after when I get home from work. And then when the evenings come, I have some other things to take care of. And it's typically when the weather's been nice. But now that winter is coming, it is time for me to be able to spend some more time gaming. So, anyways, I figured what I was going to do was come on here and just kind of give you an update of things that I've been playing, talk about my channel Rebrand because we now went from Dave's board gaming to Dave's tabletop gaming, and I'll jump into that, and talk to you about some of the things that I have coming up, some of the things that I've been working on behind the scenes and what's going to be going on there. So, first thing that I want to do, let's talk about some of the games that I've been playing. So the most of the time I've been playing games with my wife. We get a chance to play once a week, and we usually, play anywhere from 1 to 3 games. We go to a local coffee shop, and we usually get a chance to play there. So some of the games that we have been playing, most recently, we've been playing some games with River Valley Glassworks, which is pretty cool. We've been enjoying that. It's a very simple game where you're basically taking stones from the river and you are putting them onto a board, and you're trying to complete rows and then columns, with taller columns trying to be towards the end where they're worth more points. And Phoenix Knight, thank you for joining the broadcast. And first flakes of snow on the ground earlier this morning, and it seems to be flying tonight. Yeah, we have a winter storm warning here, as well, with the potential of getting more than a foot of snow. So I'm hoping, selfishly hoping, that we do get snow, and that way I'll take a day off of work tomorrow because I will not be driving in with that. So, anyways, Phoenix, I've been talking about some of the games that I have been playing most of the time with my wife, and so I just mentioned that we had been playing River Valley Glassworks. I think we've played that about a half a dozen times. We've been playing Wingspan, all the versions of it. We've been playing the regular Wingspan with the European Birds and Oceania expansions in there, and we've also have had a chance to play a few games of Wingspan Asia with the duet board, and it seems to work really good for 2 players. It gives you an extra opportunity for being able to dive into the strategies of playing specific birds, not only to build your tableau, but also to get you into good positions on the duet board to score points based upon your end of round goals. We've been playing a number of games from 25th Century Games. There's been 3 of them that were recent releases that we've really been enjoying. My wife really likes Big Sur. Now, Big Sur is a game where you are building a roadway along that California coastline, and you are playing cards and you're adding them on either end of your tableau. And you are trying to, you have to pay resources to put the cards out. Now, the interesting thing is the cards that you take every turn, they're double-sided, so they're dual purpose. On one side, it's a resource that you can use to build that, to play that card, or once you play the card out there, it's something that you can work towards getting points, because each of them have little symbols on their terrains, and you're trying to build stretches, and you have to have at least 3 stretches to be able to score points on there. And the interesting thing is that certain cards that you put out there, they will generate a resource each turn, and so you're building like an engine, and more throughout the game. You can sacrifice points in your stretches, but you are going to be able to play more cards down the road. So it's a really strategic game. We've been playing Wine Cellar, which is an auction game, and you are trying to collect different wine bottles, and putting them in position, either adding them from the top of, or to the bottom of your row. And based upon which position they are in the rack, it's going to score points. And there's like it's like a diagonal scoring. So it's really interesting because sometimes you're like some of the cards you end up putting them in there, and it's like okay, maybe it's only worth 4 points, but if I can position it in a certain way, it'll be worth more. Other times you may get stuck and be worth less. And let's see. Phoenix says, again, we may be looking at the migrating birdhouse rules pretty soon for Wingspan. All birds fly south after every round for winter. That would be kind of interesting. I'm not sure how that would work when it says that all birds fly south, unless you were to be able to clear off your tableau and start over again. But you'll have to sit there and tell me more about that, because that's something that I don't really know for that particular game. Back to some of the other games that we have been playing. We did also get a chance to play the Grand Central Skyport from 25th Century Games, which is an interesting rondel game where you're trying to, again, you're manipulating cards, trying to get them into proper positions for scoring. So those three games, between Big Sur, Wine Cellar, and Grand Central Skyport, all have to do with card manipulation. And those games are quite a bit of fun to play. And then, let's see. Okay, I see that would be clearing the entire board. Also, that's me going to probably do my best quality. All right. Yes, he is being a smart aleck. We also have had a chance to play, well, let's see. I'm trying to think of most of the games that we've been playing with my wife. She's been beating me. She's been victorious in most of the games, although I did manage to squeak out a victory in Sea Salt and Paper, which is another game that we played, which is a really neat little card game where you're trying to collect sets of particular items to be able to score points. Or if you can get lucky, get 4 mermaids, you're going to win automatically. So that's a lot of, mostly of what I've been playing. Also, back in September, I had gone to my friend Tim Bresnan's house for Play Like a Pirate Day. I was the Pirate King, I won the most games the year before. And this year, again, I guess I won the most, so I get to come back and be the Pirate King again next year. We did get a chance to play some games. Pirates of Maracaibo was probably my favorite game that we played there. It's a really, really interesting game where you're moving across the board, trying to get certain cards to be able to match some of your goals that you have, be able to score points, and then also there's things that allow you to move around on this board once you reach Maracaibo to score points. So that's pretty much, I think, the majority of things that I have been playing. Like I said, I don't get a chance to play very much, and my wife and I, we've been cycling around like a lot of the same games, trying to get a number of plays in. So that's pretty much about the gaming update. I have been, in terms of my gaming collection, I have made some purchases. I've bought some games and been doing a lot of trading. And I actually was able to trade for and acquire a number of games that were that I was interested at Gen Con, and that released there, that I've been able to add into my collection by shoveling some of the other games out of the collection. So that's pretty much that. Let me talk about my channel rebrand. So I announced earlier this year that I was reviving the channel, and it'd come back as Dave's Board Gaming, because pretty much right now that's what I'm pretty much doing, is kind of sharing what I'm playing and doing more of the content that way, rather than doing specific reviews like I used to do in the past. I will have those on occasion, but for the most part it's going to be different. It's going to be a digest like this, and there's going to be some gaming sessions that I will be either streaming, or they'll be pre-recorded and put on the channel here. So, and the reason why I have decided to go to Dave's Tabletop Gaming is that through playing my games, I have been able to integrate some sports games, sports simulation games into my collection that I've been playing, and then also been starting to dip my toes into some role-playing games, specifically 2 of them, which I will be sharing content for on the channel. Both of them are horror themed games that will revolve around investigating and trying to solve clues to be able to stop whatever bad things are going to happen. So the first one is going to be the Call of Cthulhu role-playing games, and one of the people in the chat, Phoenix Knight, I'm a big fan of his channel. He recommended that particular RPG to me, so I purchased the starter set, and currently am working my way through the very first solo mission. It's called Alone Against the Flames. So once I get through that and have an understanding of the flow of everything, I will decide to probably go through and do a session of that with you. We will create a character and go through a bit of the story. I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but we'll go a little bit into it so that you can kind of get a taste of what that particular system works like. And then later on down the road, there are some solo materials that can be used to generate and create scenarios, and I can do some sessions live. The other one is a game called Vesen, spelled Vaesen. It is a Nordic horror role-playing game. That's what it starts off as the base, and it revolves around these Norse mythical Vesen, things that typically go and they will torment people. And so as your characters, you are going to have to find clues to find ways to banish these Vesen. And it has expanded to involve some other mythical folklore from other areas. There is mythic Carpathia, and then there is also mythic Britain and Ireland. Those are out there as well. So some interesting things to be able to create a lot of content for some good horror themed role playing, and that also can be played solo. There are rules for that, and it goes along with like randomly generating things that are going to happen, so the story will evolve as you go along. So those are some things that I'm excited for that way. With the sports gaming, I have a couple of projects that I am working on and I'm preparing for. So I think that I have one for Stratomatic Hockey. It's a hockey simulation game, and I have 3 seasons that I plan on doing some replays for, specifically for the Chicago Blackhawks. And those seasons are going to be the season of 2009-2010. 2012 to 2013, and 2014 to 2015. All 3 of those years are when the Chicago Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup. And so the first one that I'm going to start off with is the 2012-2013 season, because this will be the first time that I'm doing a season replay. And specifically for that team, it was a shortened season. And so instead of having to go through the 80-plus game season, it's only, I believe, 46 games. So it's a lot more manageable for the first time to go through on a season replay. And so I will be playing the Blackhawks games using Stratomatic Hockey. And all of the other games that will be happening throughout that season, I will be using basically a score generator, which is, I think it's called Final Score Hockey from Downey Games. And so that is I'm working on getting all of the teams, all of their numbers generated, so I can roll off these charts to generate some scores. That's pretty much what is taking a bit of time to be able to do that. And when I get to it, a lot of times I may not necessarily spend some time working on that, but those things I'm going to be doing. I will share probably some of the Stratomatic Hockey games here, mostly like an instructional, how to play the game. Mostly going to be using the Stratomatic Basic for this first replay, just to really get the game system down, and for anybody that may be interested in starting to play the game, that's the way that you want to start. And then I will be moving into the advanced rules, probably in one of the other 2 season replays as I get to them. Now I know that Phoenix Knight, who you've heard me talk about on the channel, has done a 2009-2010 season replay, and you want to talk about somebody who is a very, very hard working, YouTuber and somebody who puts a lot of effort and dedication in presenting the material, that's him. And he used two different systems for his season replay. He used the Stratomatic hockey with the advanced rules, and then also he used another game system called Inside the Crease, and he would alternate between the two. And for me, it just seems to me for me to gravitate more towards the Stratomatic hockey at this point, because it's just for streaming it would be more in the time frame that I want to spend for playing the games. So that's what I'm going to be doing with that particular hockey game. And then one other sports project that I want to be using is History Maker Golf. And I have an idea of one of the things that I wanted to do. And I was going to do some match play with some foursomes, just to play through some different courses, and just over the course of like a small shortened mock season, see how these guys do. And so I'm going to have basically the hats versus the heavies. So it's going to be two pairs, basically a foursome, 2 against 2. The hats, basically golfers that I know of that wear hats. I was going to go with Greg Norman, the Shark, and Payne Stewart. Payne Stewart used to always wear, he would wear the knickers and the little Irish cap, but that may change, and I may use Tom Kite. The heavies are going to be Craig Stadler, who is known as the Walrus, and John Daly. Both of those were some bigger guys, and so I was going to have those guys play a series of courses. I have a course collection for History Maker Golf that I can randomly generate my own golf courses. So they would be like almost like fictional courses, but we'll be able to play through those. So that's another thing that I wanted to do, kind of share something for the wintertime. We can all pretend, hey, it's summertime outside. And there's a few other systems of games that I will be throwing in there here and there. I may do a couple of basically one-off baseball games, just to tie us over through till baseball season actually starts. And I do also have a wrestling game called Face of the Mat. I may throw a couple of matches in there just for fun. So those are just some tabletop games that I want to throw on there for those couple of projects. Then a couple other things, channel content that I have coming up besides those things, and they'll be scattered throughout whenever I decide to want to put them out as time allows. I do have some publisher, I guess, sponsored content that's going to be coming up. I have some review copies of games that were sent to me. So one of them is going to be a game called Here Lies from DVC Games. I also have a copy of Parks second edition from Keymaster Games that we will be talking about, and then also be sharing with you the expansion, the Harvest expansion for the fall. What is this? Hang on a second here. Fall Festival for the game Harvest from Keymaster Games. So it's a little sideboard that gets added there. And then I also have one other thing, and that is the Pirate Republic Africa Gambit that I will have some content on those as well. So those were games that were provided by publishers that I will be sharing with you. I will, if anything, I will share an honest impression of the games. Mostly they're going to be how they're played and how they're integrated, and just through the content that I present, you'll be able to make your own judgment if that is going to be something for you to add to your collection or not. Let's see here. A few other things. I'm just kind of doing some musings right now. It's Sunday night. We're getting ready for a big snowstorm. And so I wanted to come on here and just kind of give you a channel update, let you know of some of the things that are going to be coming up on the channel. Some of the reasons why I had decided to rebrand. And just hopefully that I'll be able to get some things out on a little bit of a more regular basis instead of once every 3 months. But it is difficult for me to get content created. I live in a very loud household. I still have people living here besides my wife and I, so we're not empty nesters. And my wife is also a dog breeder, so we do have some extra four-legged creatures that live in this household. So, anyways, thank you for tuning in to the stream. I look forward to sharing a lot of things with you, interacting with you. I'm going to try to be posting more like on the community page here on YouTube, and then also on my Instagram. I will be sharing some images of the things that I'm playing. So, with that, thank you guys all for tuning in and being along for the journey. And